What's going on, guys? Back again with another one talking about health, wealth, happiness, getting money, getting rich, getting fitness. Getting fitness? Can we get fitness? I guess we can get fit though, right? So anyway, man, yeah, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe if you're coming on in here, man, and we jump on into this video. So today's subject, slavery. I want to talk about slavery, man, and how you're a slave. And the faster you realize this, the faster you can get out. You must understand you're a slave. We're all slaves. It's always been like that. It will probably always forever be like that. But again, you can get out if you want to. A lot of people, they think like slavery ended, right? And especially a lot of people's memories when it comes to slavery, they go to, slavery in America, right? Having the black slaves. But people have always been slaves. And, the Greeks had slaves. The Jewish were slaves in Egypt. The Moors, the black Moors in Africa, they went up into Spain and they were had Spanish slaves, right? People have had slaves all throughout history. And it's because you need slaves to build and, use their labor to build stuff. And so today is no different. You're a slave, I'm a slave, and the goal is to get out of slavery. So, this world, it is controlled by secret societies. I know you don't want to believe that. I know you don't want to hear that, but it is controlled by secret societies. And in these secret societies, they need to, they knew that they couldn't have pockets of slavery anymore, right? You can't just have a group of black people building America, right? You couldn't just have a group of Greeks building whatever, or a group of the Spanish building whatever. It's like, how do we put blanket slavery over the entire world and then convince them that they're free? And so what they do is they create money, right? This is why it's so important to understand money. They create fiat. They create this paper that we all go out and work for. So let's break down slavery, right? Especially an easy one to understand is American slavery. So what is slavery, right? So you have somebody do work, or, they're producing their labor, and you're taking 100% of that, right? And what do? You give them food, shelter, and clothing. Now, it's not the best shelter, right? They used to live in a shack. And then you would give them food, which it would be the scraps of whatever you're not eating anymore. And then you would give them clothing, rags, right? So you would take 100% of their work, and you would give them food, shelter, and clothing. So what do we do today, right? So they've created this fake paper, right? This fake money. And then you make the people on whatever plantation they're working on, American plantation or the British plantation or the Canadian plantation or the Brazilian plantation, you give them this fake piece of paper that you've created out of thin air. They go out and they work for it. And then you take 40% of that, right, in taxes. You got to tax them, right? So you create this fake paper, you make the people go out and they work for it. Then you take 40% of it. And then with the other 60%, you make the slaves go buy their own clothing, but go buy their own crap food and go buy their own crap shelter. So now it's kind of even worse, right? At least you used to get all that other stuff for free, and now you have to go buy it, and it's not even that good. But yeah, man, this is what it is. You are a slave, and you are a slave to fiat. You're a slave to this monetary system, and they need you asleep to this fact. So they put in all of these distractions, right? They bring up certain people in the music industry. They bring up certain celebrities, and they create all of these distractions, right? They get you distracted by politics, distracted by music, distracted by celebrities. They have you distracted by drugs and alcohol and gambling. And so you never wake up. And so you live your entire life in this illusion thinking you're free, but you've been a slave the entire time. It's wild, man. And when you really realize this, when you understand this, it's a lot easier to get out, right? It's a lot easier to get free once you realize this. But if you never understand this, you're just always going to be wrapped up in nonsense, wrapped up in distractions, wrapped up in the alcohol, thinking that you're just supposed to live life for the weekend. It's crazy. And it's going to get worse in America, right? Like, think about Brazil. Those people who earn the Brazilian reais, or people that live in Thailand that earn Thai baht, they can never travel to America, right? They can't just leave their country and go somewhere else. And that will come to America as well. As the dollar gets worse, a lot of people right now are struggling. Most people will never be able to afford a house. And eventually the dollar is going to become so bad that you're not even going to be able to leave the country. You're not even just going to be able to afford it. The money is just going to become that bad. And so you're just going to be on this treadmill as a hamster, as a rat, right? Just chasing that cheese, chasing that wheel until you kick the bucket. It's crazy. It's always been like that throughout history. Like, I'm a huge history buff, right? And nothing has ever changed. Back in the day, right? And when I mean back in the day, like back way, way back in the day, you had your kings, right? Kings and emperors all the way at the top. And then underneath the kings and emperors, you had the priest class, right? And these were the people that would push out the message to the people for whatever the kings wanted them to do. And then, because the kings don't talk to the peasants, that's not what they do. And so you have the kings, then you have the priest class that talks to the people. Then underneath those, you have your entrepreneur class, right? You have your mercantile class. You have your traders, your blacksmiths, and then underneath those, you have your slave class. And we still have these classes in society today, but they've kind of just been blinded, right? So you have your royal families, the royal bloodlines. You have your elites all the way at the top. Now, I mean like the elite elites. And then you have your priest class, right? The new priest class are the presidents and the politicians. Those are the ones who are giving the orders to the people. And then underneath those, you still have your entrepreneurs. You got your Jeff Bezos, your Elon Musk, your Mark Zuckerberg. These people are placed there, right? These people didn't randomly come up with these companies, these trillion-dollar companies. They were placed there. And then you have your slaves. So it didn't go anywhere. Again, you got your secret societies, these elite bloodlines, these royals, and then underneath them you have your politicians who they control to give out the orders, and then you have your entrepreneurs, and then you have your slave class. Nothing has gone away. Nothing has changed over thousands and thousands of years. And you have your slaves running on these hamster wheels because, again, if you got out, who's going to take out the trash? Who's going to be the electricians? If everybody's free, who's going to want to do the dirty work, right? Who's going to want to dig the ditches? So you need the slave class. But again, you can't get out until you realize this. And until then, you're just going to continuously be on your hamster wheel, working and living for the weekend and drinking alcohol and cheering on your favorite sports team. And then wondering why your life just continues to get harder. Wondering why you can't afford anything, wondering why you're eating this crap food, wondering why, you're depressed and you need to go to therapy because you can't sleep well, and wondering why your relationships just suck. Wondering, like, all of this is because you are a slave. And again, they can't put pockets of slavery anymore, right? We can't just treat this group of people 100% as slave, but even better than that, again, we can just put blanket slavery over the entire world and they won't even know they're in slavery, right? And then we can just have them work for our fake created pieces of paper that we can just print out of thin air, because that's how money is created, just out of thin air. They just keep printing more of it. Now, of course, they will just keep on, like, they can't just print it out of thin air like poof and here it is. They have to create some crisis, like a health crisis or a war. And now we can print up trillions and trillions of this fake currency. And so this is what it is, man. This is what it is. You're a slave. But you can get out, though. You can get out. There's pockets to still get out. There's cracks that you can slip through. But most people will never get out. Most people are just going to be deers in a headlight. When that car is coming towards them and they're just like this and they won't move, that's what the average person is just going to be. And you're just going to get ran over, like most humans have been throughout history. But if you understand that you're a slave, if you understand the game, if you understand, how this thing works, you can get out. There's exits. There's cracks you can slip through, but you first must understand that you are a slave. And this slavery, the system of slavery, never went anywhere. And so you can just exit whenever you want to. You don't have to be a slave anymore. You don't have to play the game anymore. And people are doing it. People are getting out. Now, the people that run this world, they can't stop you from getting out, right? They can't stop you from being a slave. You can leave whenever you want to, right? But the one thing you can't do is you can't come back and wake everybody up en masse. That's not allowed. And but you can leave whenever you want to, right? You could, and most people won't believe you. Most people won't even want to leave. They'll just continuously keep living their miserable existence, keep waiting for the weekend to live life, keep cheering on their favorite sports team, and living in this terrible slavery existence of life. But yeah, man, once you realize this, it's crazy, man. I just want everybody to wake up, right? Because I woke up and life is great, but you know, you must understand that you're a slave. It didn't go anywhere. It's always been here. It always has been here. And now they put a blanket slate over everybody. We could just make everybody slaves, right? It's crazy. It's crazy when you think about it like that, right? You know, they used to make people, you know, you used to work all day and then you got free clothing, shelter, and food. And now you work all day and then you have to buy your own clothing, shelter, and food. And you still can't get ahead. Weird. Like, yo, I gotta tip my hat to the elites, man. I gotta tip my hat to the secret societies who have put this blanket of slavery over the entire world, and they've convinced people that this is just life and this is just how it's supposed to be, but it's not. It's wild, man. But you can wake up though. You can wake up and you can exit whenever you want. Yeah, but you have to wake up. You have to wake up. You got to wake up, and then you can exit, and you don't have to live this struggling life anymore. You can just leave whenever you want to, and it's better over here. It's better when you wake up to not being a slave anymore. You have to actually wake up and then actively make the choice to not want to be one anymore. To see the world for what it is, to peer behind the curtain, to see the distractions, to see the music industry, to see Hollywood, to see the sports industry, and to what it is. And we champion these people that they put in these positions, and then they sell you alcohol every time. Try my new tequila. Try my new cognac. Every single time. It's sports and distractions and music and distractions, and we just need to keep the slaves asleep so they never get off the hamster wheel. But you can get out, man. There's cracks. You figure it out. And you know, one of the first ways that I figured it out was the money game, man. I wanted to get out. I wanted to make some more money. And to make more money, I had to figure out what the heck is money, right? What is this thing that we work for all day? How do I get a lot of it? How is it created? What's the history of it? And when you start going down those rabbit holes, it spiderwebs off into other rabbit holes, and you're like, oh, this is how the world works. Oh, this is how everything is. And you're like, I can't live like that. I can't go back to thinking that. I can't go back to doing that anymore. I can't go back to being a slave anymore. Wake up, man. You're still a slave. The majority of humans are slaves. They've always been slaves. But you can wake up and not be a slave anymore. You can wake up and get out. You don't have to stay a slave forever. I'm going to go ahead and leave that one right there. Give you guys something to think about. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. Hopefully the slaves out there watching this are having a great day. And I'll catch you guys in that next one. Peace.